came back out, got to the bar, ordered myself a Guinness, and then this chap that was stood at the bar, as I say, big great beard, and he said, I'll get that for you, Ross. And I've never met this guy. Well, I didn't think I had, and I'm normally pretty good with faces and names and stuff like that. And he said to me, yeah, I'll get that for you, Ross. And I looked at him and I said, that's kind of you. I said, you don't need to do that. I said, I'm really sorry. I said, but have we met before? He said, no, we haven't met before. And he said, my name's Russ. I said, well, nice to meet you, Russ. I said, I'm Ross. And anyway, transpired. He then turned around to me and he said, I think that's the least I can do, ordering you that pint. He said, you took a phone call on Monday. I said, right. And he said, you saved my son's life.
Wow.
I stood there, cried my eyes out at the bar. He then had a little cry as well. We had a cuddle, which was, a moment that I'll never forget. And I thought that was magic enough as it was. And it makes my hair stand up, even just telling the story. But I thought that was kind of it. And I thought, what a nice thing that he's come along to see me and bought me a beer. We then pulled ourselves together after a couple of minutes, and then I thought that was it. And all of a sudden, he said to me, put his hand on my shoulder, and he turned around and he said, "Did you see that lad sat over there?" And I turned around, and there was a lad sat there, and he had a beanie on, like covering half his eyes up, kind of thing. I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's my son." And I went again, and literally, and he came over, and what happened from there on out was, for me, just the start of a magical evening, but also, fundamentally, if I ever needed anything to show me what I initially set out to do,
that you're on the right path.
That was it.